Alright, Skybottom, enough with the controversial topics. I did not come on this channel to hear your opinion or for you to tell me what I should do with my toys. I came here to get inspired and to learn how to world build, and please do that. Yes, even though world building is my #1 focus on this channel, but you cannot world build when its civilization is imprisoned in these little chambers. There's many people that have no intentions on opening up their figures, taking pictures, posing them, building playsets or dioramas, and they would rather have their figures mint on card on the wall or on a shelf or inside of an ancient cabinet, and that's totally fine. I appreciate that. Your collection does look awesome, and that's very rare to have that figure from 1970 or 1980 still sealed in its original packaging. That's very impressive. M.O.C collectors collect for a few reasons. They want the nostalgia, they love it, the memories, and it just feels like you have a rare gem and a rare treasure in your hands. And that feeling is pretty much priceless. A lot of people keep their figures sealed, like nowadays, like the new vintage collection figures, they'll keep those sealed hoping they'll be worth some money in the future, but a lot of times they're not. A lot of time with M.O.C collectors, they'll go to the store and buy 3 or 4 at a time, some to sell, just to have 3 or 4 just on deck, one to have on the wall, so they have about 3 figures of the same figure sealed, and that's fine. But what about the people like us that want to world build, and we go to Target and the pegs are empty, and it's nothing but Landos left? Every collector is different, and I'm not here to tell you the way you're collecting is wrong, and I'm not here to tell you that the way I'm collecting is right. Me personally, I love to world build. I find way more enjoyment when I actually open these guys up out of the package, and then I'm actually able to see what they do. It brings me more joy than seeing it like this. Now, I guess you could say I might be biased to opening up my toys because I need them in Skybottom for photography purposes or just for this channel. But my belief, I think figures should have a life, and the only way that we give these guys a life is if we get these out the package. If you're worried about damaging your package, what I do is I get a box cutter that's pretty sharp, and then I try to get it as clean as I can. And I do appreciate these new thicker card backs. Ooh, having a little bit trouble. So once you use the box cutter, you could get it and then you could keep your card nice and fresh. But just having the figure out and once you get these guys out of the original packaging and into your station, that's what world building is all about. I believe one of the most important things to action figure collecting is opening up your figures. Unless you have plans on selling them or you have sentimental value and you need those figures sealed and they'll lose its value to you personally, then keep them sealed. But if you're buying M.O.C just to keep and just to resell later, okay. I can't say anything against that, but that's something that me personally can't do. And then we have these. We have the windowless carded figures. Very hard to keep M.O.C. Very hard to even know what's in there. If you like looking at the picture, I don't even know why I'm saying this. Everybody knows the controversy on these guys. World building is about building worlds. And the people that live in the worlds is what give your guys the station and identity. If you do collect M.O.C, I encourage you to at least try to open up one figure and see how you feel. If it's not for you and you feel that it's pointless to have an action figure open, then okay, it's not for you, and I respect that. A lot of people that I've talked to that used to collect M.O.C, they got bored one day and opened up a figure and realized how excellent these figures were, how detailed they are, and how articulated, and how you can pose these and create some real life scenarios. They never went back to M.O.C. So I challenge every single M.O.C collector, every single sealed collector on this channel to do one thing. Open up a figure, take a picture of it, pose it around, and see how you feel. And if it doesn't work for you, just let me know that my advice sucks and you wasted a perfectly sealed figure and you're never going to listen to me and you unsub. Another thing about M.O.C collecting is the storage space. Sometimes you run out of space and then you walk into a room, the whole wall is completely covered in sealed figures. What about the other figures? They're usually in totes in the garage, or hopefully not in the garage, but usually in totes somewhere in the closet. which is fine if you want your figures to live in a deep, dark, isolated dungeon, trapped in the abyss, to never be seen or heard from again. Then, okay, do it. But on this channel, we open up our figures. The only figures that we have mock is maybe a gift from somebody and we already have that figure and we want to customize one, but we haven't got around to customizing it yet, so we have one mock. But we're world builders and we open up our figures here. A lot of collectors let this passion and this hobby die out because they're bored of the figures. Try opening up one and it might reignite your passion again to the hobby in new ways you never thought of. It might spark a childhood memory when you first opened up a figure years ago. Don't let the hobby or the passion die. Don't let your figures just sit on the shelf and collect dust inside of its original packaging. We only got one life, and so do your figures. Give them a chance.